welcome to Learning with Lulu. So in this video I'm going to very quickly review and give you a summary of what happened in chapter 18 of Frankenstein. So, quick review. The creature has asked Victor to create him a female companion. And he has said, you know, I will stay away from the rest of mankind and we'll just mind our business. I just need someone to have sympathy with and to be able to connect with. You know, I need another being of my same species. If I'm your Adam, I need you to give me an Eve. So, Victor, he's not thrilled about that, and he is procrastinating it. He is feeling a little bit better. His family has even noticed like he's not quite as melancholy, but he does have, he explains, fits and moments where he's just, nothing can soothe him. And so his father notices this and is like, I want to talk about something with you. And he says, you know, we've always kind of hoped that you would marry Elizabeth, but maybe you just see her as a sister and your love lies elsewhere. But you know, you kind of like, basically, are you in love with someone else, and is that the reason you've been feeling so despondent? And Victor says, no, my sights have always been on Elizabeth, but there are like some other things that are just requiring my attention. So his dad is like, great, I'm old, don't delay it too long, but like it's also okay if you want to delay it a little bit. It's just, yeah, anyway. So Victor, though, he does not want to get married while he still has this other promise, this other task weighing on him. And he says that there are some philosophers in England who he wants to learn stuff from, and doing so will help him in his task of creating a female creature. And there's a really interesting line in the chapter that stood out to me. I don't know exactly where it was. Oh, it's right here. So Victor says, during which I was the slave of my creature. And I find it interesting that he is the creator and he feels himself to be a slave to that thing he created. And I wanted to just kind of pose that as something for you to think about, maybe something for you to comment about. And what are your thoughts on that? And not just in the context of the book, like yes, in the context of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but also just in general. Are the things that we create, do they then become our masters? You know, when we create something or when we put something out into the world, do we then become the slave to that thing? So just kind of think on that. I would love to know your perspective on that. And, you know, I could see to a certain degree how that may be the case. So, anyway, there's that. Where was I? Okay, so Victor, he wants to learn some things from these people in England. And so he's kind of like, well, I can put off getting married to Elizabeth by saying I need to go to England. So that becomes the plan. He's going to go to England, and he comes up with like a little falsehood about why he wants to go. But his dad and Elizabeth are both kind of like, great, like this kind of seems to be him coming out of his despondency, his depression a little bit. And if he's wanting to go there, then like, yeah, we're going to encourage that. So they arrange for Clerval to go with him because they want him to have like a companion with him. And at first, Victor's kind of like, that's kind of defeats the point of me going alone. But he ends up being really grateful for Clerval's company. They meet in Strasbourg, and as they are traveling, eventually they're getting to England, But as they're traveling on the Rhine River, the beauty of it even overcomes Victor, and it even more so overcomes Clerval. And Clerval is just very poetic and in love with the scenery. And then towards the end of the chapter, Victor starts talking about how much he loves his friend Clerval, and a stanza from the poem Tintern Abbey by Wordsworth is included. And then we get this like little hint that the time, not the time that Victor's telling us about, but that he's narrating from, that Clerval is dead. So somehow Clerval's going to die. And Victor says, and where does he now exist? Is this gentle and lovely being lost forever? And he says, like, yeah, his body's dead, but his spirit still visits and consoles his unhappy friend. So future narration perspective, we know that Victor's still going to be unhappy and that Clerval is dead. And then he says, like, pardon this gush of sorrow, or like, sorry for being a sob. And then he goes back to explaining how they cross the English Channel and continue to sail up towards London and the sights they're seeing in England and all of that. So chapter 18 is Victor going from his home to England so that he can put off his wedding with Elizabeth, so that he can create this female for his creature and not have that weighing on him. And that's that. So that's chapter 18 of Frankenstein. Please make sure that if you are benefiting from these videos, that you show your support by subscribing and liking and commenting and all of that stuff that helps YouTubers. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back around.